Am I the asshole for yelling at my husband for not coming home immediately? My husband and I have 2 daughters, one from his previous marriage, 13, and one from ours, 1.5. For context, my stepdaughter participates in competitions all over the country and takes her sport very seriously. For this reason, she has quite an intensive practice schedule which takes place 4x times a week for 2 hours. So, including travel time and sometimes lunch, it means this trek can take anywhere between 3 to 5 hours. Another point. My husband and my stepdaughter are strong skiers and enjoy the sport. This is not the sport she practices, but choose to keep it vague for privacy reasons. So every season, they go anywhere from between 3-4 times a year for 4 or 5 days. Sorry for all this background information, but I felt it was pertinent to my story. So my husband usually has our daughter on the weekends and had her the Saturday and Sunday. She has practice these days, so he was gone for the better part of the day on the weekend. Mind you, we also have toddler not yet 2 at home as well, so juggling nap schedules with practice schedules is no easy feat, and I try to understand that he is doing his best. The following Monday, they went up to the mountains for their ski trip for the week. I opted not to go because there isn't much for our toddler to do up there, and I'm essentially trapped indoors trying to entertain a toddler by myself without the comforts of home during the hours of 8-4 while they are up on the slopes. Did not seem appealing to me. For those who don't know, she's too young to participate in snow sports, needs to be 3, and isn't a strong enough walker to tread snow. So they stayed up in the mountains till Friday morning and made it down by dinner time. Again, the weekend rolls around, and my husband had to take our oldest to practice. By now, I'll admit I was a little miffed at the lack of time our toddler had with him, but I tried to be understanding. So Sunday morning, at around 2 a.m., I woke up incredibly nauseous and thought I could force myself back to sleep again. But boy, was I wrong. I took a sip of water hoping to quell the urge, and it just opened the floodgates. I was puking everything I had for dinner, or at least that's what I thought. Come 3 a.m., I was puking up more of whatever remained from dinner and for bonus points, sharding at the same time. Just taking turns going back and forth on that toilet, getting increasingly disgusted with myself. By 4 a.m., there was nothing left to puke except for the water I was drinking. Same for 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Point being, he was there the entire time to see this whole train wreck go down. So by morning, as I lay in bed, writhing between chills and hot flashes, it was a welcome relief when my husband took out both girls to the park. Shortly after, he had to take the older one to practice, so left around 11. We had a babysitter come by to help with the toddler, and I rolled around in bed sweating and shivering profusely. My husband was done with practice and driving our oldest back to her mom's place, and got there around 3. Yet he didn't get home until about 4:45 because he stayed at her mom's house for an hour to discuss college and practice. Guys, she's 13. This is not an emergency. I was livid by the time he came home. I was incredibly hurt that he did not make me a priority when I felt like I made so many concessions. He'd basically already been gone 9 days. He couldn't even race home to check up or take care of me. And to add insult to injury, he actually came home to tell me he didn't understand what he did that was so wrong. Told me I was overreacting. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. So please Reddit, AITA for screaming at him for being so inconsiderate.